Hello everyone! I thought it was time to do a video of the new crew. This is the Critical Friends. They are named in honor of one of my favorite YouTube channels, Critical Role. The Critical Role ended a campaign this week, and so we decided to name kittens after some of the guests and non-player characters on Critical Role. And so seeing the tabby, the brown tabby without a collar, that is Twiggy. Then the one with the green collar, that's Pumat. Yellow collar is Kima. The tan collar up on the cat tree, the tabby with the tan collar, that's Essek. The tabby with the blue collar on the cat tree is Allura. You can't really see back there, but there's another black panther cat. That's Kiri. She has no collar. And then over here we have Keg, famously played by Ashley Birch. Most of these others are characters played by Matthew Mercer, with the exception of Twiggy. And forgive me, I always forget the name of that actress. I think it's maybe Laura something. You'll have to look it up. Forgive me. She was also famously on True Blood. She was the youngest vampire on True Blood, the blonde one. I'm so sorry I don't remember her name. And their mom, by the way, that's Marion, as in the Ruby of the Sea. Marion, also famously played by Matthew Mercer. So these are the Critical Friends. They are, I think, 6 weeks old, but they aren't the weight of 6-week-old kittens. So these kittens have had some challenges. Let me start from the beginning, though, because this group, we know their story better than any of the other 20 groups we fostered. So they are the 21st litter we have fostered. Marion is officially number 100. And so her kittens are 101 through 107, I guess that means. And Marion was actually born feral under the home of a family here in Texas. And they worked for several months to try to catch her. She was, by the way, she was the only surviving member of her litter. And like I said, the family tried for several months to catch her, and when they finally did, she was pregnant with her first litter. This is not her first litter. So the family took her in and supported her through her pregnancy and the birthing of her first litter, and got her first set of kittens all adopted out. And they had Marion inside, ready to be spayed, and she got out. When she came back around, she was pregnant again, and they actually were not able to even get her inside again until 3 days before she gave birth to this litter. So this litter is her second litter, and we have 7 of her 8 kittens. So she originally had 8. There was one more tabby. But what happened was, a couple weeks after they were born, they became infected with an upper respiratory infection. And so they were in the home that rescued Marion, and they were doing a great job supporting these kittens, but then they had 8 kittens and a Momcat, all with an upper respiratory infection, and I guess their resident cat got the infection as well. And with so many little babies to take care of, they could not stay ahead of it. And so they did the right thing and brought Marion and her litter to the shelter, the Humane Society of North Texas, in order to make sure they got the medical support they needed. So they ended up being in the rehab center at Humane Society of North Texas and under care for about 12 days. And during that time, one kitten passed. And for these other 7, they were able to get the respiratory infection under control. And so they're not fully recovered. We have 3 kittens that still have some eye symptoms. So in cats with a respiratory infection comes eye ulcers. And so we have Twiggy, who I think is nursing right now, has an eye ulcer in one eye, and her other eye is irritated, but I haven't seen an ulcer in it. So she's getting eye drops in both eyes. Kima with the yellow collar, who just went under there she is. Kima has an ulcer in her left eye, and Kiri, the other black kitten, has an ulcer in her right eye. They're also a tiny bit sneezy, but not really too bad because they've been under treatment for a while. They came to us after about 12 days in the shelter rehab center, and we are finishing up their treatment. So they're all on an antibiotic called doxycycline. So that's once a day they get that oral antibiotic, including Marion. And then the ones with the eye issues are getting oflaxacin eye drops twice a day. And then on top of all that, we're deworming, so they're getting Panicur once a day, and we are spacing it out. So they get Doxy in the morning, Panicur in the evening. At lunchtime, they get probiotics, and there's also pumpkin that I'm putting in their food to keep bad poops away. And since they've been here, they have already gained weight by leaps and bounds. So I mentioned at the beginning that these guys are about 6 weeks old, but they were born April 25th, by the way. They're about 6 weeks old, but they are very, very underweight because of the upper respiratory infection. And so they came to us a variety of weights. Twiggy's the smallest. She was only around 10 ounces. Allura's the biggest. She came around just under 1 pound. And then the rest were kind of in between, around 14 ounces. They've only been here 2 days, and now everyone but Twiggy is over a pound. So they've been gaining like crazy because now they have been under treatment. They're doing a lot better. They're getting food multiple times a day. They nurse, they eat dry food, they eat wet food, they drink water, they play like crazy. They are doing amazing. Twiggy is still under a pound, but she's just tiny. She's the runt for sure. That's her on the activity center right now. You can see her eye is a little bit shut because she's having eye issues. But Twiggy is gaining weight too. She's already almost 12 ounces, and like I said, she was 10 when she came here. So she's doing great as well. You can't see it, but I have Essek licking my fingers right now. He's on my chest. They just recently discovered the cat tree. They used to play in what we call Narnia. So the first day they were all hiding behind the beanbag, and that's why you can see I have this camera up here. It was pointing at the beanbag so we could see them. Now they never go behind there, and they're playing on the cat tree instead. So I may relocate that camera at some point when I feel up to it. We have two right here. This is Keg. Keg is a girl. Kima's a girl. So there's mostly girls. We only have 2 boys. So litter of 7, 5 girls, 2 boys. So these 2 are girls. Again, Keg with the white collar, Kima with the yellow. Allura's a girl, she's the blue collar. Kiri's a girl, she's the black without a collar. Twiggy, the tiny one that's now getting a bath from Marion, she's a girl. No collar on Twiggy. Green collar there, that's Pumat, he's a boy. And then Essek, who is on my shoulder right now, is also a boy, and he has a tan collar. So these are, again, all characters from Critical Role, who just ended a campaign. Critical Role is famous because they're amazing, but also because they have the highest grossing Kickstarter for a video project of all time. They wanted $750,000. They got something like over 11 million or something ridiculous like that to make their animated series that we hope comes out later this year. But it's a good time, actually, if you're interested in watching a group of voice actors play Dungeons and Dragons. They will be starting a 3rd campaign. We don't know when, but it's a good time to join because if you don't want to catch up on the other 2 campaigns, you can join with the new one. And so we had previously had a litter named after the Mighty 9, which was the current campaign that just ended. We still haven't found the perfect litter to name after the first campaign, Vox Machina. I was hoping these guys would be it, but there were not enough boys. Only 2 boys. So we named them after critical friends instead. So they're just having a blast. This activity center, by the way, we put it on our wish list and it was sent to us by Amy E. I never imagined how big of a hit it would be. We may have to get one of those for every litter now. That little couch, by the way, was custom made by our friend SD Grady, who is a fan of Kitten Academy as well. We also got a lot of stuff recently from Sherry B, Calimo, and Sir Geek, Pepper Simba, Deb White. Who else? There was someone else, and I'm not remembering. Sorry. Oh, yes, Jan Rob. So thank you to all of those who recently bought things from our wish list. Of course, we have people who buy from our wish list all the time, like Moose Little and, who else? Cynthia buys from our wish list a lot. And then, of course, we have many, many Patreons that help us out as well. And we are so appreciative of you guys. I put this on my Discord the other day, but foster starter packs, so what they give to fosters when they first get a litter. So each litter, the starter pack is $75. So since we've had 21 litters, we've never taken a foster starter pack because you guys always provide for us. And so that's saved a lot of money for the shelter, so they can provide for other fosters who want to take care of kittens but need that support, which is absolutely fine. So just so you know, if you're afraid of the financial cost of fostering, there does not have to be any financial cost. Every shelter I have ever heard of or worked with will provide everything you need. You provide the space, they provide everything. So don't ever make that a reason not to foster, especially in this kitten season. What else did I want to say? I haven't heard anything about the kittens we sent to Oregon. So if you're like, where the heck are the kittens that were there just last week? Well, they were not fully grown. They were not fixed. No, because we sent the music notes and the encore, the 2 litters we had at the same time, we sent them up to Oregon. So they're getting fostered there, and once they're fixed, they'll get adopted out through the Oregon Humane Society. That allowed the Humane Society of North Texas to be cleared out a little bit. They sent something like 68 animals up to Oregon, and then just a couple days later, they sent, I think it was like 160 or maybe even 190 to, it's in Pennsylvania. It's called Brandywine. It's some kind of rescue center in Pennsylvania. And so this is the volume our shelter goes through. They have to send entire planes full of animals away in order to clear the shelter and provide space for more and more. And that's why fostering is so necessary. Last week they had 130 plus kittens, including these guys who needed fostering. It's incredible. They rescue so many animals, and they can't do it without those flights and without fosters. So even if you can only foster for 2 weeks once, it saves lives. And those flights save lives as well. So one of their flight partners is Wings of Rescue. If you can't foster, volunteer. If you can't volunteer, financial support for your local shelter, for Wings of Rescue, for Humane Society of North Texas. All of these are wonderful ways to support. I'll make sure there's links to support Humane Society of North Texas and Wings of Rescue in the description of this video, so you'll be able to support them that way. We have plenty of support right now, and we don't have anything on our wish list. So if you want to support us and you cannot do so by Patreon, please support our shelter or Wings of Rescue, because our babies benefit so highly from that. Everything in this room has been provided by our supporters, so we don't take anything from the shelter. The only thing we take from the shelter is the medical care, And whenever we have excess funds in brew cats, it goes straight to HSNT to cover medical care. So, like their oflaxacin drops and et cetera, et cetera. And remember that $75 I mentioned for a foster starter pack is just the starter pack. If they need more wet food, more dry food, more litter, etc., that's an extra cost. And of course, if you foster for more than 2 weeks, you need all of that replenished regularly. So we appreciate you guys supporting our shelter as well as us. I think Essek is asleep on me right now. I'm not sure I'll be able to show you because the way this works, I can't turn it around. He's a sweet boy. All right, you guys, this video has been about 15 minutes for you to see these crazy and cute babies. They seem to be winding down a little bit. I don't even know where they all are right now. There's Pumat. There's at least one with mom. There's 3 over there. One's on my shoulder. That means at least one is missing. So, I don't know where they are. There's too many kittens. That's why there's so many collars. Anyway, I will get this uploaded. Keg, so cute. We will eventually move that camera when I feel like it so that you guys can watch them on the cat tree some more. But otherwise, you can watch them on our live stream. Just look up Brew Cats on YouTube. Thanks for watching right now. Much love. Squeeze a kitten for me.